Hey, hello, how you doing? Welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Frank, and welcome to Super RPG Friends. Joey is running in fear of Charlotte, aka Necromancer Billy, who's joining us tonight. This makes twice that he has dodged her. But we said the show must go on despite. Look at her, she's terrifying. Can you guys understand? Yeah, look, there we go. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. No one wants to catch those hands, especially not Joey. So he orchestrated a elaborate Rube Goldberg machine-esque situation where he got hit by a car on the freeway just because he didn't want to have to fuck with Necromancer Billy.
Skittering across like a little raccoon.
It reminds me. They started telling me that he got struck by a vehicle, and it reminded me of the time that they told me John was in the federal penitentiary for being a drug kingpin. So,
well, yesterday
that's
he
what the board
going.
covers.
It was pretty funny when we told you that. You were like, "Not again, Frank! Don't you do this to me again!" But it's okay.
I know you can't get me twice.
It's okay that Joey is not here tonight because I am joined by my beautiful, lovely, handsome co-host John. It's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. How you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing, Frankie?
Not too bad. I'm not too bad. But we are also joined by two lovely guests tonight. We have Game Dad, aka Gordon the Kaiju, returning. We love to see it. How you doing, baby?
What's going on, Frankie, baby?
Oh, Farnsworth has got this. He said, all right, I'll sub in as Joey. Also, before I introduce our proper last set, let me give a quick shout out. You know, I see Ruby out there. I see Onyx. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. Farnsworth, the King, Judge, my boy, Darkest Sun. How everyone hoping a good day so far? Yeah, we're all having a pretty good day. Once I found out on Tuesday that we're actually like the light is at the end of the tunnel, I thought this game was going to be like 20 episodes. So like I didn't even think about the ending coming, but finding out that we're getting close, I'm kind of like reinvigorated. We decided what we're going to do for our next game. Maybe we'll tell you at the end of the episode. It's going to be a good time. Charlotte had the skull shape of a lifelong criminal. Oh, that's good. That sounds like something Joey would say, Farnsworth.
I was just talking about before that I have to wear my baseball cap because of my egg-shaped
She was talking about her old egg head.
All the Joeys in. Can we just have the entire chat be Joey coded? Entire chat.
All of chat pretends to be Joey. What's up,
fight
Cake?
all of you.
It's good to see you, Cake. How you doing? Dad sucked my dad's car. Sucked my dad every year, thousands of Farnsworth. That's basically that's a pretty good Joeyism right there. But speaking
more screaming and yelling,
Joey, we are joined for her first time on the show, chatter turned guest, also a close personal friend of mine and former co-worker, Necromancer Billy, aka Charlotte. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you on this side. How does it feel now that you saw the really elaborate back end of Super RPG Friends? You know, everyone, they're like, it's like when the Wizard of Oz opened the curtain, you know? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I was shocked, then appalled, but then delighted.
Yeah, when
we didn't
John
get our usual showing of Joey's ass.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say,
they never see how the sausage is made, you know?
Now I've seen the hot dog made, and boy, oh boy.
Charlotte took it really well when John executed someone before the show. Like, she was not fazed. I couldn't believe it. John, how was your stay? I know that the heat got a little too much on Tuesday, and you had to flee. They discovered the shell company. Is everything okay now? Is everything okay? I know you're back here.
We've cooked the books. They bought it. It's all good.
Okay, good. Because I know, you know, we're associated with that shell company, so we were a little worried. You know, I don't know. Maybe the police will be knocking my door down. But it's good to have you back, my good, beautiful buddy.
I don't want to be audited, John.
Once you're past your
Not again.
first murder, you get kind of numb to it. After that, it's just kind of funny. Oh man, that's great. Okay, hold on. Let me pull something up because I actually. Okay, first thing.
Shout out to the Drewby Frank crossover video.
Oh, dude, that was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
That was so much fun to film. We were having such a good time, man. And it turned out so well. Drewby killed the editing on it. Frankie Bits is now a canon, like, creature that exists.
Love it.
Gabagool or Gabafool?
Yeah,
you know?
Gabagool.
That one was completely off the
my
fucking
God.
top of my head, too, which was crazy.
I got cold in the house, so I need my
Yeah,
meat
exactly.
blanket.
It's true. It's a meat blanket.
That's awesome.
Totally
Kept
normal.
warm by the fabric of the ghoul. That's fantastic.
Listen, it's part of my culture, first of all. So
Okay.
What's up,
There
Wreckage?
you go.
It's good to see you, buddy. Now I would like to show you guys a video that I made today. That I went to Walmart and I was feeling fucking frisky and decided to film me trying some of the stuff. I edited it a little bit, and I thought that it was a lot of fun.
I'm here to answer
gonna
the
show it
question,
to
and
you
I just got
guys.
back
Oh
from
my
a
God,
Walmart
it's
haul.
so
Does it
cheap.
suck or
Hold
does
on.
it
It's a
slap?
great video.
Walmart edition.
Look at that handsome lad.
We're to start out with
Chips.
these
Got
Lay's
snacks.
Thai style
Cool.
red curry. Well, it's got a good nose on it.
honestly,
I
I
do like
really
curry,
want to try
so-
these
Thai
curry
style
chips
red
that you
curry.
had.
Not bad. It's a little
There's no
mild.
well,
Actually,
so there's no
curry
audio,
flavor's
but I
building a little
have
bit.
it
Those are
muted.
good.
I thought it was gonna come through.
Next
on
up,
that
we
end,
got
but-
the new Lay's honey butter.
I was
Now, it's
disappointed
a
about the
part
honey
of
butter
the
ones.
honey butter.
Yeah, the
That's
honey
a kind of honey butter chip from Japan that I like.
Yeah.
But I
Foreshadowing.
like honey butter in all of its
Foreshadowing.
forms, so it's a little bit of a funky
I could
smell
tell
on that.
the minute
Like,
you looked
not
at this
bad
bag,
funky,
it was
funky.
it was
So we're
normal.
gonna see how
questionable.
it tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's very
I'm
few
asking my
things
girlfriend if you wanna
that
be
you
on
can
camera to
eat
try
that
this
when you
because
smell, it's like
I don't think I like those.
that it ends
I
up
don't think I
being a
like
good
those one
thing.
bit.
I think
It's
it's
just
that list is very small.
It's just butter
Yeah,
chips.
yeah. Because
I
if
hate
they
to
say
say
like
it.
smelling
Sucks.
is almost
No,
like
no good.
50% of
Churros
your
Kit
taste,
Kats,
but
though.
like
Yeah.
I'm
your
excited to
taste
try
They're
this.
experience.
definitely
Big
connected.
Kit Kat fan
Yep.
and a big churro fan.
Oh,
Oh man, what a damn shame about those honey
Now,
butter chips.
I knew the
Those fucking
second
suck.
I saw these
Ooh,
churro Kit
beautiful. You
Kats
know
that
what
they
a
were going to
fucking-
slap.
Kit Kat
Oh,
looks
they
like. I really don't
had
want to
to.
show you that. It's like when I show you a potato
How
chip.
could they not?
Whoa, whoa, potato chip. Let's do it. Oh, that's really
Super
good.
Walmart friends.
Oh, that's really good. You want to bite of this one?
Yeah.
Right.
Break becomes
Super
a
snack
Walmart
friend.
Oh, yeah.
influencer before.
Just
I
the
made sure
cinnamon,
to
the
tag
sugar,
them. Now they know.
the filling,
Walmart knows I exist.
all of it coming together.
Dude, if Walmart
That's
would just
absolutely
send you
delicious.
snacks to try
Okay.
on
That
video, that would be
slaps,
amazing.
I'd do
without
it
a
on
doubt.
stream too.
Final
like,
entry
I'd be like,
on
fuck
our
it.
list.
Like,
These
I'll do it.
orange
You wanna hear something-
vegetables from
These
You hear something
fucking
terrible?
Walmart's
insane. Yeah, yeah.
I am a big fan
So,
of orange
my
cream anything.
content creation
so I should be
is
the
small,
target
right?
audience
My
for
audience is pretty
this
small.
TikTok thing where
So I made a business,
it looks pretty
I made a
good, though.
business
I mean,
email.
hey.
Oh,
Um,
Oh, that's really
and
fucking
just
good.
so I didn't have like
All
my
of my
personal
orange
one out there,
creamsicle
because it's got my
fans, I
full
need you
name in it,
guys to
right?
go,
Just in case,
got
like,
this.
if someone ever
Walmart
wanted to
fucking
send me
cook with
something.
this.
I haven't
This
opened that thing up since
slap.
January
But- oh,
of this year.
There's one last
Someone
thing.
online wanted to
Found
send me
little,
something, but I don't know this
the
person,
little
so I
sample size
gave
of
them
the
my
sweet
business
honey
email,
bachans.
and I
We're
open it
big
up and I
fans of
look in there.
bachans in general,
I've
but we
got
haven't tried the sweet one
multiple brands
Sweet,
that are reaching out to
delicious.
me for partnerships
just
to like
as good.
send me
That-
products for me to make
that
Mix out a
review
little
videos
Fuji
on.
mayo, put it on
I've got
some, like,
Steam codes in there for
Asian-style
multiple
beef or
games that are
something.
people are
That
like, hey,
sweetness
can
is
you
really gonna
just do a
go.
video?
That
All this stuff
most
just
certainly
rotting
slaps. I'm
in
gonna
my
have to get another
email
one
that I
of
haven't
those.
checked for like
Thanks for
6
joining me.
months.
You guys have a good
Like,
one.
what an
Walmart,
idiot, right? I'm like
fucking
replying to these
Walmart.
brands like, is this still available?
The cheese at pizza.
You
know,
Hey,
that- hey, guys.
Please.
Bye.
But yeah, man,
Old
like how
behavior.
stupid, right? I just never thought that people would be reaching out to me for that kind of stuff, and never was checking my email.
the Jade, that when you listen. Oh, thank you, Judge. All right, everybody, we got reps. It's time to show them why they call you the physically fit gamer.
What do we have to rep? I already worked out today.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Barnsworth is killing me that he said I like what Frank did the old Southern lady cover in his heart. Oh my lord, that is a fine Kit Kat. Frank is New Orleans Bobby Hill. I'm gonna give Walmart a jangle.
Doing puns have Exactly.
Oh, there we go. Some pumping. There we go. Perfect. We love to see it. Now, I need to introduce 2 new sprites into the Super RPG Friends like Hall of Fame. It's the canon. What does it mean? Do we all exist in this world and go on adventures together? I don't know. Who knows? But look, we got Charlotte and Gordon have their own little sprites now.
Yay!
I feel so honored.
I love our sprites.
Big shout outs to fucking Erica for drawing them. We loved it. Thank you so much
Thank
for all the support for
So
making
honored.
this cool ass shit for us. Like, it's cool. I love it because we have it. It feels like ceremonial now. It's like we award you with.
I've been knighted.
Yeah.
You've been sprited.
I love these shoes that I have on are cooler than any actual real pair of shoes that I own, by the way. That they've drawn me in here.
They match the Carlac shirt perfectly too. It's like you got little Carlac shoes. I love it.
Love it.
And it's nice too because you know the picture it came from. You're like, yeah, that's Carlac. I can see it. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
Material.
Can sense her presence.
Exactly. You can feel it in the tank.
So, Charlotte, this is your first time on the show. You want to tell us a little bit about your history with like RPGs in general?
Sure. So I grew up with some dirty hippie parents. I love them, but I was not allowed to have a gaming system in the house, but I could rent one from the video rental store. But none of us had any idea how memory cards worked. So I would have to start every game, Harvest Moon, Wild World from the Animal Crossing series from the beginning.
Starting over Animal Crossing is fucking rough. Cause what? So how long did you get to rent them usually? Cause like, so what? You just this little Animal Crossing world that only existed for a week, and then you're like, all right, let's see, we're rolling the dice again.
Yeah, and I could only play so many hours in that week too, so I really could not get very far.
Managed. Okay, I see. It was managed. Hell yeah.
All my friends had the Final Fantasy games, and I would just watch over their shoulders and be like, "Oh, so that's what it is." And then, by the time pandemic hit, our roommate at the time was like, "Hey, you're a former horse girl." And I was like, "Yes, I am." He was like, "Have you heard of Red Dead Redemption? Because you can have a pony."
You're like,
"Yes,
yo.
let's fucking go." So now I've been playing all of the games I never got to play or even get past 1 week's worth of gameplay.
Have you ever played a Dragon Quest game before?
I've played a little bit before, but I'll be honest, most of it is now just watching you guys.
Hell yeah, we've taken over. But yeah, that's cool though. We always love because then you can see the evolution in real time and see actually how's it going. Plus, like I said, we're pretty far along now. No, I'm not gonna update it. I said I'm not fucking updating to where they're gonna nerf the class I grinded for like 4 hours to level up. Fuck you, I'm not doing it. Anyway, nice
my favorite
music.
thing with Super RPG Friends is if they're playing a game that I haven't played before, I just love asking Joey questions so I can get like a good solid like 25-minute answer from him about a game mechanic. And the nephew of the game designer was eating lunch one day, and that's how he came up with this, design mechanic of gambling in the game or something like that. Something ridiculous like that.
He's got the deep facts. He's got the deep facts. I love it. All right, so let's see. So we need to make Charlotte in the world Dragon Quest.
John actually serves my favorite role in the JRPG.
He's our DPS.
Yes, exactly. And when I was growing up, I've got this weird saying that I say that the PS1 Final Fantasy games were my favorite co-op games. And people are always like, what? And it's because my brother and I played all of them start to finish multiple times. cooperatively. Like I would play for an hour, he would have the strategy guide, so this way as I was playing you weren't spoiled. Like he would say that go left here, go right there. I wouldn't see like, oh, is a boss fight about to happen? Like we would keep it from each other, and then the next hour we'd swap controller, and then I would say that I'd be the co-pilot, and I'd be telling him where to go with the map. You know, there's a treasure chest over here, and then when the boss fights start, you know, make sure you use this move, all this stuff. But so this way we were never spoiled as we were actually playing the game, right? Because a lot of times the strategy guides, you'll see as a fight coming up, or hey, there's a cutscene, they'll have like a big pop out of the person who's going to be in the cutscene. Yeah. It was so nice that we were able to figure out a system like that, and we never like really argued. We just always took hour here, hour there, hour here, hour there, and it worked perfectly. We did that all the way up until 10, and then he went to college, and then 11 came out, and we weren't playing that online, and then 12 was the first one that we both played individually on our own, while he was at college and I was at home.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I had definitely had some experiences doing the pass the controller with friends when I was younger, RPGs, and it was always fun. It was a different kind of experience, and RPGs are such a storybook genre too that it's good to watch. I know, guys, it's unsurprisingly, the guy who runs the RPG streaming show for 3 years, just like, RPGs are pretty fun to watch, I think. Well, I was like, I hate watching people play RPGs. Yeah. So, Charlotte, are you a warrior, martial artist, mage, priest, merchant, gadabout, thief, or monster wrangler?
I mean, I am a thief of joy, so...
There we go. Okay. Now, are we feeling a little masculine or feminine today?
Feminine, obviously. Excuse me.
Go.
I am a lady.
Listen, we got a couple people that came on, they're like, you know what I'm feeling today? I mean, Joey's our resident green-haired baddie, so... Now, which one of these fancy little designs do you think are the best? We got a little bandana, we got a little side pony, we got some short hair, we got some flippy hair. Thank you, baby.
Let's do...
Everyone give us Julie shout out.
Julie!
Which one?
We can do some flippy hair.
Oh, flippy. Okay, I like it. And what color hair do we want to do?
Let's do pink.
Let's go.
Everyone loves pink. It's the best color.
Now
so.
we have the pink-haired baddie.
That's right.
There we go.
Put some respect on my name.
Right. Like the acrobat, bada bing, bada boom. Now, which voice do you think you would have? All the right ones are the lady ones. Childish, shy, wild, reserved, determined, youthful, elegant, serious, or alluring?
Alluring.
That's what I chose too.
Let's do wild.
Or sultry.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely batshit.
Alright, Charlotte will be waiting downstairs with the rest of them forever.
That's where I belong anyway, in the depths of hell.
Oh, Darkish, you've never played a Dragon Quest? Well, we're happy to show you these fucking...
Oh, no need to
all the
look so
fanciness.
surprised. In fact, you see, when the king heard
Darkish, I've only ever played a little bit of 8.
let go of the fact that it was him who
We're
sent
similar.
Ortega off with
7
no
was the
But you
first
mentioned-
one I played, but 8 was the first one I actually beat.
Anyway, did I in my as
Well,
honest
to do my favorite thing and to get us off topic, you mentioned Storybook earlier.
Yeah.
I just wrapped up last week, maybe earlier this week. I finished the Legend of Mana 2021 remake remaster.
Yeah.
And my God, what an amazing video!
Oh, so good, dude. Big fan. I'm a big fan of that
Absolutely
one too.
amazing. I cannot
It's such
express
an
enough how
inspired
much of a joy
adventure.
that-
Thank you,
Seriously.
honey.
It was a beautiful storybook, choose your own adventure. The Shimamura soundtrack might be her best.
Soundtrack,
But
so good.
Seriously, might be her best.
I
Visually,
love
such a treat.
And Mana just has, I think, one of the best senses of like whimsy of any bigger
Yes.
art. There's just some quality to the Mana series. I don't know if it's the art, I don't know if it's the reoccurring characters, but there's just some that series has some special sauce that just makes me feel so cozy and like chilled out, and I love it. And Legend is my favorite one, so I'm glad you played it.
Just love the
oozes
elementals.
charm. All the individual little characters,
The
there's little side
elementals are so
stories
cool.
that end up, this little side stories end up, with the overarching, the Jumi story. Like, it was
It's
just so
chemistry
good.
of everything together. Because if you missed one of those things, you would the vibe would be totally off kilter.
Yep. I used
is a
the
rarity
Legend of
in
Mana
the-
info, the legendofmana.info, the website that gives you the whole event guide, everything. So I use that to a T. But yeah, you're exactly right. And I think I wrote a little mini review on it. I do these little
I love those those little pictures
review
that you
cards.
do. Those are really cool.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I've definitely I hone it every time because I try to change the card to reflect the aesthetic of the game, and that's not always easy. It's like everybody's like, just do a template and do the same thing every time, and I just feel like that just doesn't have the vibes that I want to give.
Disservice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's fine. People do that, and I think people do it. It looks good, but like, I really want mine to be personalized towards
stand out and represent the game in some way. Yeah, I think that's awesome. It makes it pop out a bit more, I think, too.
But one of the things I talked about in there was what you mentioned is I think it was I think I called it a time capsule of a different era of game development. And the reason I mentioned that is I think the game was truly designed because I think we had more time back then.
Yeah,
and I think the game was truly designed to be several times. Like, because like you said, unless you do the perfect route, you're going to have like an experience like, hey, I saw these events, and then you're going to replay it and you do New Game Plus, and you did a short, maybe a 10-minute or a 10-hour playthrough, and then you're going to do it the next time and do things different. Maybe this one's like 15 hours, right? And then the next time you're going to do things different. So I really think it was built to be done that way. And obviously there's like a critical path or golden route, whatever you want to call it, and that's what I did. But it's so interesting because I feel like that was the type of game where, the water cooler talk, you would have beat it, and your buddy A and buddy B would have beat it too, and you guys would have had completely different
orders, different events, everything. It was so unique.
Right.
Yeah.
Different difficulties as well.
What was that?
Go ahead.
Like, I think different difficulties as well, because isn't it more difficult the further out from the center you go as you build the world?
Yep. But which is really cool because you can do it wherever you want. Like you can go in whatever order. Well, I mean, I think not literally any order, but
but it's pretty dang open-ended.
Like you said, like I think if you started as exactly. And it's like it reminds me of like people now, like for example, two games that this comes to mind with that I think are pretty well celebrated. Baldur's Gate 3. I've had plenty of conversations with people where they have completely different outcomes of stuff, right? And it's like we can play completely differently. And then another one that I love talking about people with is Disco Elysium, where you can have very different, very, very different outcomes throughout the game. And like those are two experiences that I feel like kind of share some of that identity, some of that. And I think that also goes to like them being so well celebrated is because it does that. And it's not something where it's like, okay, we want you to consume this, for your whole life kind of thing, whatever. And because Baldur's Gate 3 can be as long or as short as you want.
That's a game that'll...
You can hit level
first and second game too are pretty extensive, and you can have a really wide range of experiences with them. And especially just being able to do the choose your own adventure thing. I mean, that was the whole what started Dungeons and Dragons. Was originally it was based off of military RPGs like Risk, and they were basically like, well, what if we want to be the heroes of our own stories? How do we let a world be expandable? And that's how they came up with D&D essentially, and how we have the D&D that we have now. And it's also why they let you have free reign to call things Dungeons and Dragons. They've decided to leave that to the public. Of course, Wizards of the Coast still owns Dungeons and Dragons, but you can publish anything with the Dungeons and Dragons rulebook because they're like, this is much yours as it is ours. Please enjoy and create your own adventures, which,
So if you're interested in starting D&D, does that make you die curious?
Yeah. I'm very die curious.
I identify as die.
I identify as die. D20 to be exact.
That's great. And I like that you brought up D&D, right? Because I feel like with Legend of Mana, so I felt this, and then Joie, as I was chatting with him during it kind of confirmed it. It felt like it had a little bit of like the Saga sauce in it, as far as like the way that it's non-linear, it's open, you can choose your own adventure and all this stuff. And when I played Romancing Saga 2 for the first time, the remake, I was like, wow, this feels a lot more Western than a lot of the JRPGs I'm used to, as far as like what I would expect a JRPG of this time to feel like, because I think I had a kind of myopic view of like the JRPGs, right? The Dragon Quest, the Final Fantasies, right? I really didn't have a lot of Saga experience, and Saga has a lot of that tabletop influence in it, and I felt that in Legend of Mana, because I believe one of the main Saga people actually like developed half of the game, I think, before they left or something like that, is what Joey was telling me. Someone maybe in the chat can correct me on that. But yeah, I could feel the influence, like the choose your own adventure storybook type. It definitely felt like that. I don't know if anybody's played Wildermyth, but Wildermyth kind of has a little bit of that.
I've never heard of that one. Oh, that's
man, Wildermyth is so cool.
Oh, hell yeah, Wreckage. Yeah, I love cool facts like that. I'm with John with the zinger. Hell yeah. I love it. Darkest, I'd read about some guy who had a D&D campaign that's been continuing for decades. I love shit like that. Like,
so, Darkest, that's actually not very rare. There's tons of groups that I know who have had campaigns going on for 5 to 6 years. And characters can rotate out because characters will die, but they'll explore the same world with the same characters or the same members of the party, if you will, so the actual players. This will go on for years. I've had friends who are in the same party that they were in high school. So
you're actually working on a tabletop thing right now, aren't you?
I am, yes. I write encounters for a homebrew of D&D, which you can find us on Kickstarter if you just search Encounters at a Glance. Game Master Worlds. So if you want to play my adventures, I specialize in puzzles, or you can join us on the Game Master Worlds Discord, and I am starting a new Choose Your Own Adventure, funnily enough, next month, and you can vote on the theme.
Mana of Legends.
That's awesome. I play D&D regularly, so I have since 2020. So that's awesome. We did our Ravenloft campaign went for just over 3 years, and the only reason that ended was due to the dungeon master and one of the people in the group were dating, and then they weren't dating. So that kind of like ruined the vibe of that group.
Yeah.
And then we did Horde of the Dragon Queen. We actually finished that. And then now we're on Rise of Tiamat. So we continued into the next one.
Yeah.
Our character died at the end. He went out in a blaze of glory. We actually pre-planned it. My brother's more of like kind of like a cinematic DM, like he treats them. He reads a lot of fantasy novels, lots of fantasy novels, and he loves fantasy shows.
I realized I wasn't sharing the right game with
HBO
you guys.
epic stuff like that.
That's okay.
And he writes the campaign story like 6 months out, like as far as like how far out. Yeah. So like he's got and if there's like big scenes coming up, he doesn't like spoil it for you, but he may give you a little bit of like, hey, your characters might experience something like this, just so that way you know. But we planned my character's death like 3 months in advance.
Hell yeah.
And it was really cool. I actually I posted it online actually on my YouTube.
I'd love to see it.
It's like a 2-minute video. If you GameDad7, GameDad VII. It's I have one of my playlists is like D&D clips, and it's like I think maybe the most recent one. It says my character died or something. But we actually play with my dad, which is really funny. You know, he's like
fantastic!
5 years old, and he plays D&D. He has with us the entire time. So all of my clips on there include him, my brothers, the DM, and a bunch of friends of ours who kind of like jump in and out of the campaigns.
That's cool.
Oh, that's my dream.
I love D&D. I'd love to check out your you said it's an Encounter Masters, or what was it?
Encounters at a Glance by Game Master Worlds. We finished up our Kickstarter, but Kickstarter was kind enough to let us do late pledging, so you're still able to get it, and we have it in PDF format too, in case you don't want to deal with waiting in the mail from Europe.
Nathan Horn?
You have a link?
My friend Nathan, I do have a link. I can put it.
I just found it. You want me to post it in the chat?
Oh yeah, if you're already there. Hell yeah.
I'm on it right now.
Oh my god, all these slimes.
Cool. Yeah, a friend of mine who actually was in the campaign, but she left. She is really big. I think it's Shadow Dark, which is like a D&D spinoff. It like won a bunch of awards at the Gen Con and all that stuff. So she's like really heavy into that right now. So I know there's lots of like really cool spinoffs. And Daggerheart, I think, just came out, right? The Critical Role.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that.
That came out like 2 weeks ago, I think.
I think, there's the novelization too, I think, just came out recently as well.
Not to get super D&D nerdy, but I like the Daggerheart stuff is all super role-playing heavy. So like the mechanics are tied into you role-playing, which I think is a really cool concept, because that's one of my favorite parts of playing D&D is actually role-playing the character. I mean, I do voices and all that stuff.
Same.
Oh yeah. You're my favorite kind of DM. Yeah. I'm less about the math. I really want the experience.
Yeah. So. My first DM experience was with a emergency room surgeon as the DM, and he was very much a rule lawyer, and his favorite thing was like litigating every thing that you did, and he loved getting into like, if you challenged him, that was like his favorite thing, or not like argument, but like he would want you to like present a theory that like would prove why the rule should, and like that was his favorite thing, was discussing theory, and it was like exhausting because
I was going to say
we're just getting together to play the game. Like we just want to play the game. Like we don't want to argue about this, about how fast the fire would spread through the web, or if the brazier gets knocked over, is it enough to engulf an entire 5x5 square, or what? Like stuff like that. It's like, come on.
Does it serve the story? Yes or no?
Right. Is it fun?
Darkest
are we
the guy he was talking about? He's a Canadian historian, Robert A. Wardhaw, who's been playing the same campaign since 1982. After I think the characters ended up being descendants of the previous characters. That's so cool.
Is he a professor or a teacher? Because I think I've heard about this before.
He's a Canadian historian, so he's something.
But if he's a college professor, I think I've heard this before, where it's been going on that long, where he'll bring the class that he's teaching in, not the whole thing, but like people who want to, and then year after year they use the same campaign, but people who want to leave and want to stay, they always refill it with a new class of students, and it's been going on for 30 years or something like that.
Why not me? I'll go back to school for that.
Right? I would love to have a teacher that'd be that cool. But that class was probably, his kids are probably very engaged with that class.
Oh yeah, especially too. I feel like when I was first introduced to D&D in high school, there was so much else going on in the world that because you're just starting to experience a big part of the world. And so when my friends started playing, I was kind of looking over all of their shoulders and being like, hey, what are you doing? How does this work? What is this mechanic? When I sit behind the screen, I want to know all the secrets. And then I actually got to start playing later on. But
that's cool.
There's something about just being in that storytelling stratosphere that's just as satisfying as playing to some point. So I say to all people, even if you don't necessarily want to play, even if you're like, I do not know how the math works, just watch a game and you will have so much fun. It's like a story crafted just for you. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the guy he was employed at the University of Western Ontario.
Yeah, he's a I think I've heard of the same person, Darkest. That's cool. Awesome.
That is cool.
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely appreciate seeing game I have a game store nearby me, not a video game store, but like a tabletop game store.
Yeah.
And I've been going there because I've actually started getting into painting. I do 3D prints and I paint them and all sorts of stuff like that. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And so I go there for supplies, and they've got so many tables of like Warhammer, D&D, all these other tabletop experiences, and I always go in there for like, I'm gonna grab this paint and leave, and I end up staying for like 20 minutes just watching the people play because it's so much fun seeing people get invested in it. You see the guys, pull out their tape measure with the Warhammer and stuff.
Oh, the Warhammer
and
guys, yeah, dude, they get fucking intense. I love the look of like a large scale Warhammer game, just like a bunch of dudes. They got like a Monster Energy drinks and like tape measurers on their sides and shit like that. Like, it's great. It's like, are these guys gonna go work on a house, or are they playing fucking Warhammer? Hell yeah.
I will say they are not beating the smelly allegations. Every time I go in there, God, it reeks.
I did go into the official Warhammer store, and that was nuts. I was like, oh, y'all. I came in for my D&D paint for my giant space hamster.
Oh, and, look at him.
He's very cute.
Very cool.
I still have to do some more layers, but I came in and he was like, oh, what are you buying paints for? I was like, giant space hamster. He was like, excuse me? I was like, I'm a D&D nerd. And he was like, oh, one of those. I was like, yeah, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. Your royal space Hulk Marine. So this was my first like paint to finish where I based it and everything. So I printed all of this.
You did? Oh my god!
Crystals. I did the terrain. All of this. I found a model of the Black Mage, and let me see if I can get some better lighting here. But that's too much. But yeah, like this was so much fun to map out and like plan, and like I'm watching videos on like dry brushing and glazing and wet blending and all sorts of stuff like that, and it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of the Mecha Monday guys are really good at that stuff. If you ever need any advice on that stuff, too. Those guys know so much more than I do when it comes to like actual modeling techniques and stuff. I'm good at putting stuff together and making it look all right, but man, some of those guys are on another level. Oh, Darkest, you're a Warhammer guy? Hell yeah.
I could use them because look at these.
Oh yeah, see? Oh, I'm so jealous of those.
I've been sitting on these for forever because
I think you've literally been sitting on those since we've become friends. Like,
yeah, I need to paint them, and I was before I got into painting, I was too like intimidated. But now that I've got a little bit of confidence of it, I feel a lot more ready to at least put them together and attempt doing like an oil wash or something like that on it to make it look a little bit more realistic. And I'm definitely excited for these. I have more confidence now. That's what I was really worried I was gonna like screw these up, so that's why I didn't want to start with them. So I started with stuff like that.
Yeah, that's smart.
I've got
practice on the 3D printed stuff.
Yep, I've got like a little chocobo here that I've got primed and ready.
Nice.
So he's primed. I need to find a base for him, and I've got this really dope looking.
Oh, that's
bomb.
A gnarly bomb. That's a really good print too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's sharp.
So I like to. I've painted a lot of Pokemon stuff because Pokemon I feel like is such an easy starting point because it's really high saturation colors. The shading is very like easy to know where to shade. It's not like human skin tones kind of thing, whatever. So I actually painted a few gifts for friends and mailed them out.
Oh hell yeah!
And they're I did a Galarian Zapdos, which is like a really nice red, bright orange, and it has like the base like the Black Mage did, except it's all rocky terrain. And then I did I never know how to pronounce it. The Crystal Legendary Suicune.
Oh,
Suicune. I did one where he's coming out of a Game Boy Advance Crystal cart.
Oh, that's tight.
He's actually coming out of it, and that was really cool because I did some. I bought like glitter and I got like a glossy varnish and I mixed the glitter and the glossy varnish to paint the crystal cart so it looked actually like the crystal cart did, when we were kids.
Picasso, hell yeah.
Dude, it's fun, man. I have a lot of fun with it. This is like a new hobby that I'm like blabbing right now, yapping, but this is like a new hobby that I'm like super into right now.
Did you see the robot that I worked on that I started last Monday?
Hell yeah,
Gordon?
hell yeah.
Dude, it's got like
Thor
wings.
guy? No, this is I just started this on Monday. Hold on, let me turn this light off so you guys can see it better.
Seeing all the parts was terrifying.
Lights up.
Oh, it's got
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah, it actually came with an LED for the head and everything like that, but
Wow.
beefy as fuck. The inside of this was so complex and like well put. It's interesting because this isn't Bandai who makes all of it. This was made and designed by like a third-party Chinese company, and like this fucking the whole model kit. Hold on, let me show you the size of this fucking box.
It's huge.
But
I've seen it.
It's only like $70. Like that's how big the fucking box it came in is. It was only
Crazy.
$70.
Damn.
Terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta
crazy.
Watch out, man. Like they're coming for
If you can find a good
Bandai.
knockoff, man, or not, I don't want to say a knock. Well, that's probably a very pejorative term. If you can find a very good third-party product, stick with it. Because I got lucky with a few things I had. Oh, I got something. Hold on, give me one moment.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited to see what it is.
The
I'm
reveal.
just like, what other random shit do I have around that I could grab? Be like, look at this.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of my other stuff.
Oh, fuck
This-
yeah.
Millennia right here. Okay.
Mhm.
It looks very much like the one that came with the collector's edition, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
This was like $20.
Damn, hell yeah.
Nice.
Like, right? And like the quality is very nice for it. Now,
That's
like
awesome.
it's a little wobbly, right? It's a little rocky. But like if you were to look at this on the shelf, especially next to some of my other ones, you would have no idea that this was a $20 pickup. And it wasn't
Wild.
secondhand either. Like I bought it out of the like brand new out of the box
Mhm.
for $20. So I got
I
it
wonder
on
if it's like the same factory but without the middleman. The factory will keep the models,
and everything.
designs, and exactly.
it was either Temu or AliExpress or whatever.
Damn, Dara. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
One of
so
those ones.
sorry.
So it's definitely like funky. See, the thing is, I would never buy something like this if it had a face. But if you buy something that doesn't have a face, you can get away with it because I feel like you can always tell
The
the
face
cheap
is
one
where they get
because the
ya.
faces
The
are jacked up.
eyes
But
will
if
be
they have like
fucked up.
armor,
Yeah.
they have armor as the face, you can get away with it so easily.
Well, there was the whole Baldur's Gate figure snafu.
I
Wizards
think I
of the
heard
Coast,
about
what
that.
are you doing?
Yeah, and
Oh
they were
my
really
God,
bad.
it was
like the miniatures, right?
Janky.
They look terrible.
They
They
were
look terrible.
Which it was like, I don't know what everyone was expecting. As soon as I heard it was released, everyone was like, oh, are you going to get it? I was like, no. I know how this
100%
is going to
Darkus.
turn out.
Yeah, they looked they looked like they were all like speed hand painted by one person who was like chained to a chair in a factory. That they were like, I need you to do 500 of these in one day.
Using a Q-tip as their paintbrush.
Mhm.
Like, they stick the paintbrush out and then they just bring the things by the paintbrush. That's what they look like. They looked really bad.
There we go.
Yeah,
There's
just
the
like that,
intended
right?
effect. There's the intended effect.
There
Yeah.
Perfect.
POV.
Frank,
They do-
Frank's cleaning your
they do
ears.
full
Frank
refunds on
cleaning
them,
your
right?
ears ASMR. Oh my god, there's so much oh, it's disgusting. How did you get this much wax in there? Ugh. That's
Frank,
my
that's your new niche
ASMR.
right there,
Yeah,
is-
that's my
is doing
new
videos.
super ASMR friends. John whispering puns, Joey softly singing about fucking his dad, like
I just like how Frank was giving us the tip.
just the tip, just real quick, just see if it feels good.
It never runs out.
Oh.
He's never empty. Never empty.
I've said before and I'll say it again, John is a national treasure.
His finger is always on the trigger. Like, he stays ready.
Oh.
He's so ready.
Just- Pew, pew, pew. Just take me out.
My man's a shooter.
Ready.
I could hear Joey screaming from Chicago right
He's
now.
like, John!
Yep.
He actually dragged himself to my door just to scream.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Ooh. the Blizzard Blade. How exciting.
Ooh.
Who needs the Thunderbolt Blade when you got the Blizzard Blade?
Right? Who needs the Fire Emblem Blazing Blade?
Oh, hey, that's kind of sick. A shield that can heal if I use it. I will take it. Yes, please. Thank God I have $1 million because I got all those goddamn monsters.
Money goes quick in this game, though.
It does. It goes fucking fast. Oh, a swimsuit.
I've become like really into 3D printing. Like,
it's a really fun hobby, dude. I don't blame you for a second.
So
I miss it. I need to set up. One of my friends gave me one of his older ones because he like does it as a business. And I haven't set it up yet. And I said I was going to once I got the house completely unpacked, but you guys know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got an Ender 5 that's gathering dust at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a resin?
No.
No.
It's a PLA.
PLA? Okay, I've got PLA too. Yeah. I have the Bamboo A1, Bamboo Labs
the
A1.
bamboos are really fancy. It's crazy how great price they've gotten for how good they are. Like, 3D printing is in a really awesome place right now.
Yeah, it's just super simple. Like, that's what I love about it. I just download the print, goof around with it on the Bamboo Lab app, whatever, to make it bigger or change the supports, load it into an SD card, or if I had my phone hooked up to it, I could just literally press a button on my phone and it would just start printing.
That's
But
cool.
I made this water well for my my paintbrush, and it's actually grooved for her pleasure in the inside.
Yeah, so you can get the paint out of the brush, yeah.
You can get the paint out of the brush, out of it while you're doing it. Because before I used to just use a cup, but now I can actually get the paint out, set it on the side, and I didn't have to buy anything. So that's, well, I mean, obviously I bought the PLA, but anytime I need something, I now check, can I print this?
That's the best, yes. That's my favorite thing about 3D printing is having a problem and being able to make your own solution without having to order it off Amazon and wait a day. You're just like, all right, I'll do this. Like, and the more you get like doohickeys, you know, you're like, oh, I have to buy, you know, these magnets or something. Then you end up with more things that you can just do it quicker. Like, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah, John, have you ever used it
for handhelds,
for building stuff?
No, I just printed like stands for all my handhelds. So I can put them up in display cases.
They need them.
Nice.
That's the hardest thing about
Game Boy Advance, SPs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've used it for like brackets and
thank you, Darkness.
other small things. Like like corner supports, like if I'm doing like a small little like table or something like that. So I've used it so I don't even have to go to Home Depot to buy stuff. Let me just print myself a pair of 4 supports. Like,
it feels
pretty
good.
nice.
You're like, look at what I did. Like, I fixed the problem.
Yeah, I like how the first thing that happens when you get a 3D printer is you print accessories for your 3D printer.
Yeah, to make your 3D printer better. Yeah.
The wheel hold, the PLA holder, and all that stuff.
So cool. Such a fun hobby, and it's cool that it was especially like because I did it before my house burnt down. So I did that in like 2019, 2020 and stuff like that. It was still real early then too, and just watching it evolve and people come up with new things and all the trends and stuff was just so exciting. It was such a fun, it was cool to watch a hobby like be born and grow so quickly.
Yeah. What's crazy is in college, for a marketing class I did, we had to like help a local small business. We had to help them write a revised business plan. We just had to pick a local source, and there was a place that had 3D printers, and you could go there and rent. You could like use like, hey, I want to use this for X amount of hours or whatever, right? Because it was pretty novel at the time. Like people didn't have them in their home. So I had to do a bunch of research then, and I was just like, man, this is like I was so ignorant of all of it. And this was like 2000 maybe 16 or 15 or something. I went back to college at that point. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. And like now seeing where it is now, you know, people having them in their home. I have a little desk with a printer in it. It's like before, 5 years ago, you had to go rent one of these from an actual business. Had to go into a brick and mortar and use these.
Yeah, exactly.
The local library has
all of our local libraries.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's
So
cool that
cool.
libraries have them. That's really cool, like thing to have access to.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because of Chicago density and everything, so it's just like they have more ability to have more programs like that, but they're still like have classes for kids to learn how to 3D print at the library, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
So good.
Yeah, we've actually in Tampa, we've got a hacker space that's got like 3D printers and all kinds of shop equipment and stuff like that you can go in and use.
Fuck yeah.
That's awesome.
I think sometimes some of the biggest like hurdles to creating is the equipment needed. So it's so cool to see a way to give people a way to jump over that hurdle, even if it's just for now, and get to creating and experimenting, and really awesome.
Yeah, you pay a little subscription fee and you can use all their machine shop stuff. They got like metalworking and laser engraving, sewing stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a place around here that does that for woodworking. Like if you need to make something, you come in there and they have, it's just a shop floor and they've got everything, and you can even bring them blueprints or whatever. As long as you got the lumber, there are people there who will like help you use all the machines and walk you through everything. That way you don't have to own an entire garage.
Somebody used their CNC machine to make all the panels for an arcade cabinet.
Nice.
Huh. That's really cool. I wouldn't even think of that. That's really cool.
People are so damn creative, man.
They really making this show. You give them the tools. People do amazing things.
Oh, Dragon. How much longer do you think you got in this?
What do you think, John?
Don't know. I think I spent like 35 hours with all the post-game content total.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far we are in it at this point.
Are you doing?
Someone looks that up.
Yeah, we're not gonna do like all of the like actual
Posting
like
fights,
post stuff, but yeah, we're gonna get up to fighting whatever the hell his name is. Where is it? Where's my fading Jenny? Gotta get me some of that there fading Jenny so that monster can't see me.
Gotta hide.
Gave me like his light squawk. It's like, squawk.
Polly.
Thank you, Polly.
So, Charlotte and John, are y'all playing anything new lately, or are you guys doing any games?
Going through a lot of older games right now. It just did Red Dead Revolver for the first time, which is so wild. I'm like, wow, that's what that became,
It was a very different game, yeah.
Very much. Very much. I remember playing that for the first time. That was crazy. Yep.
I went for a little comfort game, and I was playing Thousand Year Door.
Oh, nice. Fuck yeah. Thousand Year Door is a great one.
That's Mario.
No. Yeah, it scratches that collector's itch with all the star pieces and stuff like that you can find.
I definitely am like 100%er the achievement. Oh, there's nothing that feels better than that.
You're a trophy hunter?
That shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I used to do that stuff. I had to stop.
Dopamine hit.
You know what game made me stop? Was Final Fantasy No.
The fucking jump
do it.
No, I actually got the jump rope trophy. It wasn't that.
Oh damn!
The speedrun one.
I cheated and I used the Vita script or the remote play PC script to get the jump rope trophy.
Yeah.
But when I found out after I beat the game, or when I was at the end of the game, that I needed to grind for like 20-25 hours of just straight battles to get the 500,000 kills or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I could beat 2 games.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've never been super into that. Like, if it happens, it happens, but I usually don't, like, try to do it.
Yep. So I at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just going to get it organically. Like the PlayStation first-party games, usually a lot of those are nice, organic platinums. Like Spider-Man, Horizon, God of War. They have, like, maybe, like, 1 or 2 collectibles or something like that, but usually they're nice, organic. Except for like Uncharted. I feel like Uncharted had a few ones.
Uncharted definitely
they want you to hunt for treasure.
Yeah.
thematic.
Yeah. I remember with
I wish
Uncharted
Switch
4,
had a
there was like these
chance.
dolphins you had to see in the water, and for whatever reason, I could just not get the dolphins to pop up. Nate had to lean over the boat and say like, "Oh, hey Sully, look at the dolphins" or whatever, and like it just never freaking
Yeah.
happened.
But that's another great series that has like the atmosphere, the story, the score, the characters. Like that's another one that is
But Uncharted,
Whole
yes.
shebang.
Another
Oh, man.
series that is like so deeply like a real story that you are following and you feel so immersed in it. Even though there's not a lot of choices you can make, you're still like it's almost like, you know, the same experience of reading a really good book where you're just like,
Yeah.
I just can't wait until that
Which-
next part. But I want to savor it too. I don't want to skip anything.
Yep. Which sucks that the movie turned out the way it did, because it's like,
I refuse to acknowledge.
yeah, you could have made something with actual like heart in it. But instead, you made something that you made a movie to make money. You didn't make a movie to tell the story. So
Yeah.
You ended up not
Nathan
making-
Drake battles depression. His career is in ruins.
Oh,
I
very
loved 4, by
good.
the way. I know a lot of people didn't like 4.
I thought 4 was good.
I don't understand a lot of people.
Or
Loved 4. It was such the moments between him and Elena were so good, like so humanizing of the characters. You know,
Yeah.
aside from Nate going and killing 100 people, and then and then you get to see that
Lots
those
of
moments.
fun. Lots of fun.
a little murder. It's okay. I myself, a supporter.
You know, get a little murder here and there. You know.
I'm playing a little game called Monster Hunter Stories 2,
I've been seeing that.
and I'm having a great time.
It's a
As
lot
a-
of fun.
As a tourist in the Monster Hunter world, I've only played Worlds, and I did the whole thing where you hit the credits and you stop playing, which I know isn't the real
How dare you? No,
way
yeah.
to stop playing Monster Hunter. But I'm having an amazing time. Like, and I hate to be this guy because I know it's gonna sound so snobbish, but like I'm playing this game and I'm like, man, I wish Pokemon did some of the things that this game is doing. Like, I really like. It feels like an actual JRPG, where I feel
Yeah.
like over the years, Pokemon has felt less and less like a JRPG and
Yeah.
more of its own thing. And I feel like Monster Hunter Stories 2 is very much like I'm actually like I'm not like hanging on by a thread, but like on every word, but like I'm actually interested in where the story's going.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time in a Pokemon game I gave a crap what was going on in the game.
You're just
to be honest.
pressing A
Gather
until
monsters.
it's over.
Right, yeah. It's like, oh, I'm a student. Oh, I'm following this guy's little brother. Oh, I'm doing, yeah. I don't know. I love it. I think the mechanics of the monster battles are really fun, where you know you can like not take damage if you pick the right attack at the right time, and the way you level up the monsters. And I just unlocked a lot of like the gene customization.
Yeah, that
You can
gets
really
so
kind of get
cool.
into yeah, like at first I was enjoying it and I was like, yeah, it's you know, there's not as much depth as I would like. And then as soon as I got the part where you can take genes from one monster and put it in another, I was like, okay, wow, now they're cooking. Like this is really cool. So I'm having a good time with that. I'll be playing that until Death Stranding 2 comes out, and then that'll consume my life.
I hope fingers
Oh,
crossed I get
yeah.
the review code for that. Like I'm on the list to be the one who gets it, and we've gotten all the other Death Stranding things, so we should get this. But I'm extremely excited. That'll be the one thing that'll tear me away from Dune, I'm sure, because other than that, I have not stopped playing Dune since the early access last Thursday. Like. It has had a fucking absolute claw on my life. I can't stop. It's fucking amazing.
What is it? What's it playing like?
It's like a survival crafting kind of game. The combat's more like the shooting is just fine, but it is part of a larger combat sandbox that is a lot of fun to interact with. But like just that, and then being on, you know, the planet of Dune, Arrakis, is such a good place to, you know, survive. That's the entire series is built on surviving it. There's so much lore about what goes into surviving on that planet, and they've faithfully translated it in such an impressive way. As someone who's a really big Dune fan, like, they have knocked it out of the park. They, with a lot of respect to the source material. I remember hearing the director say one thing, that like one of the conditions of them using Dune was that, like, in more words than in less words than more, like, basically they weren't allowed to change Dune for the sake of the game. They had to build the game design around Dune, not the other way around. And I thought that was a really cool way to go about it. And just, I'm eating real good. I got a really good, cool guild, and I haven't done like a guild thing in a very long time. So it's been refreshing to meet a new group of cool people that we're all a little, like, you know, we're all over 30 and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of an older crowd. It's been one of the best game experiences I've had in a while. Like, I've been staying up till like 4 a.m. playing it sometimes, because it's just, and I don't do that anymore. I fall asleep, but I can play it nonstop.
I'm enjoying it. So it would have been a bit dry.
Yeah, the Death Stranding's a great Hideo game. God.
Good God. I was gonna say that I'm surprised to hear that it's a survival crafting game, because all the trailers I've seen so far don't make it seem like, and I'm talking like cinematic trailers.
But it has a lot more story than like any of those that I've played. There's actually been like a pretty well put together series of stories and stuff like that. And I'm at the point now where it's starting to move out of the original framework of like what the story missions were, and getting a bit more about like the world and politics of Dune and everything. And it's just been, that's exactly what I want. Like, we're almost to the big like PvP area. We're almost to like the end game stuff where we actually start to like interact with other players while we're trying to like, because like, have you ever seen Dune? Did you know anything about Dune, Gordon?
You mean like the franchise, like just Dune itself?
The franchise. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
okay, cool.
I grew up watching the
Lynch one,
the OG.
The David Lynch movie.
David Lynch. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm sorry, David Lynch. I grew up watching the David Lynch movie with my dad, like over and over again. So it's a deep look. And then my brother and my dad, we all get together to watch the new movies when they come out.
That's awesome.
We all get together just like a kid.
So yeah, big time RIP for Lynch, that's for sure. We talk about that man constantly on the show. It was a somber week when we heard that, because we all love him. But what I was saying is, like, one of the big endgame things, obviously, you know, the spice melange is so ingrained into everything in the endgame and stuff. Like the deep desert, which is where it actually is just like, you know, there's not a lot of things other than sand. Everything's much further apart. One of the big endgame activities is doing like spice harvesting activities, which involve like, these are like, you know, you're gonna need at least like 8 people coordinating tightly to do this. Like, there's got to be someone driving around putting thumpers down to distract sandworms. There's people flying in the spice harvesting equipment. There's people like flying around trying to make sure, because this is in the PvP area, so like, if word gets out that there's, you know, and a spice explosion is a very visible event. So like, it's a ticking time. The clock starts the second you start seeing that, because you're gonna have to actively defend yourself, because, you know, everything needs, all the high level stuff needs spice. So like, it's gonna be a highly contested resource that has this really complex like player working together activity with it. And like, I'm so excited to get to that. And I am not a PvP guy, but like the way they've built it, where it's not going to be like Ark or Rust, where there's like Polish teenagers killing you in like at 3 a.m. your time, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Like, it's less about like running around and killing people, and more about like competing for resources and competing to be the one who gets to do the well thought out operation. I got the review code for it, so I get to actually officially review it, which that's definitely something that I would say like is on my list of some of my proudest reviews, getting to actually interact with my favorite sci-fi franchise in official capacity that's a highlight of my writing career for me. What up, Armor?
That's awesome.
Yeah, Darkest, yeah, dude, the world building in Dune is amazing. I remember when I was a kid, when I read Dune in middle school, and I think it was like one of the first, like,
a tough
books.
read.
Yeah, it was, well, I was like, I tried to read every book in the media center in elementary school. Like, I was a really, really big reader. Oh my god, the monster arena! Oh, we get to fight monsters again! Okay. I'm so happy. I fucking love fighting monsters. I love, but call me, I'm the, no, that's a really bad joke. Never mind. Never mind that one. The Michael Vick of Dragon Quest 3. Anyway,
God. You're right.
Yeah, I remember it was like the first book that I read that like treated the reader as like an adult, I would say. And it was a really big undertaking, and I just remember the first time I like opened it and it said something, and it said on the bottom like a reference page in the back, and I opened it up and there's like maps and just encyclopedias of like world specific terms and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I can hyperfixate on this motherfucker, hell yeah. Like, oh, so good.
That was me with Lord of the Rings. When I was like in elementary school, my dad read all the Lord of the Rings books. Every night when we were going to bed, he would read me, a little bit at a time, and like just showing me like a map of Middle Earth and all those different things. I was hooked, man. So I absolutely get that. You got a good piece of lore,
sci-fi fantasy equivalent.
Lock onto that. But when you say crafting survival, my mind first goes to like, what is it, Vanaheim? Because that's like, Valheim, I really don't know much. I really don't know much about the genre itself. So I'm surprised to hear that it's that, because like I said, the trailers show like a bunch of like shooting and action and stuff. So I would have thought it was
there's definitely a lot of that, because it has like there's tons of POIs over the map to do with like different stuff. So it has kind of that like Ubisoft design too, where there's a lot of different things and activities to do, and that works well with it. It synergizes really well with the rest of the loop of of all like the crafting and the resource gathering and stuff like that. Because I'll go out for one thing, like I'm like, I need to get aluminum to get bars because I need to make a fucking orthanopter, which Gordon, I finally got an orthanopter the other day, and like actually flying one around Dune, like, yeah, like I had like a feeling. I was like, oh my god, I'm doing it. Like, I'm here. I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it, baby.
Oh my God. Did you mention base build? I did. The base building is really, really good in that game too. I'm excited because I'm about to finally like move to my like forever home. Basically, I'm going to be finally moving my base into like the end game for PvE stuff, and it's closer to the world border, so I can go to the PvP stuff. And I'm excited because I do like building a lot. Like, that's in Minecraft and shit like that. I'm always designing and building really cool stuff. So I'm really excited to have the prettiest house in our guild. Yes, that's a challenge if any of you are listening. What I want to do, because in the PvP area, you know the Coriolis storm, right, Gordon? Like the really dangerous sandstorm that like destroys shit. So every week that comes through, and it literally completely destroys everything. It's only in the deep desert, not in the PvE areas. That's fine, but in the PvP areas, it completely wipes it. Like, so all of the bases, all the resources, everything like that, and it changes like the layout of it and everything like that. But what I want to make I want to try to make, there's a little PvE area in the entrance of it, and I want to make like a water bar. Like, come on down to Frankie's Water Bar. We got the best water in Hagabassin. Like,
Frankie water.
Just
Frankie's
pee.
Water. It's just piss.
It's just my pee. The whole time.
Go piss, girl.
Go piss, gal. Alright, let's see. So we got a dragon. That's pretty fucking cool.
So, Dune saying that the... Where was the comment? that the Dune is kind of like the Lotor of sci-fi. Darkest, yeah. You know what's funny is, my first exposure to the Warhammer 40K world was through video games.
Okay.
And I thought like what I was seeing, I thought was like so interesting, and I was like, this like there's like lore here. There's like things that I'm picking up that I'm like, I need to know more about. Like, so like I'm researching stuff, and then I keep reading more. And the more I read about the Warhammer 40K world, it made me think of Dune a lot. I could see like a lot of like parallels between the two stories. So oh, do you get to ride sandworms in?
You're not supposed to, but people have been doing some fuckery to try to do it, because it turns out the worm is a physical thing, and the only thing that will kill you is its mouth right now. So there's been people dropping out of planes on their back when they're up for a second. I assume eventually they want. I mean, honestly, their plan. They have like a 10-year plan that they're planning, and they want to add other planets in the Dune universe to go to and like do the whole thing there. And I'm like, when I read that, I'm like, that's crazy ambitious, but if you guys do that, like, I will play this game for 10 years. Like, if you will actually feed me the Dune head and let me like go build on like fucking Caladan or something like that, like, oh man, it's a world ripe with opportunities to just continue to make content.
As long as they don't do the Sims 4 situation, because that's been 10 years and it's just a money grab of like buggy DLCs.
Right.
I support keeping games alive.
Mm-hmm. And like they're like DLCs never go on sale or something too, right?
Yeah, right.
Bastard. Is it like
yes,
is it like are you like can you be a Harkonnen, or is it like is everyone the same?
No, it has a 2-faction system of a tree. You have to, your guild and your character will have to pick between aligning with Atreides or Harkonnen. And I mean, Atreides all day. There's a reason I've used that as my faction name in games for like my entire life. There's no way I was gonna be a greasy bald psychopath. So.
Wait, isn't this the concept of the game is that Paul was never born and that she had the sister?
No, Paul died. Paul died. Paul died, and because of that, Lady Jessica was around, and she figured out that Dr. Yuan was going to sabotage and sell them out to the Harkonnens, so they actually won that battle that night instead of losing it. And so, like Duke Leto is still alive and everything like that in this timeline.
Wow. Okay, that's
male Bene Gesserit for some reason, but I get it. Gameplay. I'm not gonna argue it. I saw someone be like, excuse me, that's they're ladies. The Bene Gesserit. Paul was a special example. Shut the fuck up. Otherwise, then every character is just going to be a lady because you want to have access to all the classes. Like, shut the fuck up. It's still a video game, and this is coming from the biggest Dune guy you probably know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people that were crying and pissing themselves.
We got such a beautiful love letter to the franchise, and there's still people who want to nitpick every single little thing.
I think there are just people who enjoy the act of nitpicking too, where it's just like every community just has someone who just has to be the biggest fan of it, and the only way to them to be a loyal fan to something is to follow every single possible rule to the T, or every line to the T, versus like, if you love something, like that's kind of a part of you. Like, you are allowed to adopt and adapt it and come up with your own ideas. I mean, fan fiction used to be zines that people would trade in the mail, so you could read new stories, because we didn't have binging at the time. So if you wanted a new Star Trek, guess what? Someone in Omaha wrote a whole like little chapbook, Xeroxed it, and we'll send it to you so you can enjoy a whole new episode.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's amazing.
Old school. I love that whole entire style that they used to have. God damn. All right. I guess we're gonna need some new monsters, because that was only the second fight.
I would so like I what you said, Charlotte, is 100% true, and I feel like there's also like another set of people that are different from that set of people that are like just preemptively looking for something to be like pissed off about or angry about with the situation before even like I'll give a perfect example. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Iblis Chronicles got announced, and there's all sorts of like conjecture and points of contrition around certain things about what's in it and what's not in the game. But of course, I had to see some bonehead out there literally post the recruiting center a screenshot from the 97 game and are like, I bet you they're going to take out male and female recruitment and just say like type A and type B like they did in Dragon Quest. So like they're literally getting angry about something that A, they don't know what's going to happen, and B, they're just like they're just guessing. They're just looking for something to be pissed off about.
That's a personality trait too.
Manufactured outrage.
Looking for something to be mad about. It's like it's like, okay, wow, like maybe like okay, like like you're mad about something that's not even happened, that may happen, that you're convincing yourself might happen. Like you're afraid is. So yeah,
it's the same way where people were like really upset about the new Veilguard, right? And they were like, why can you romance like men as a woman or whatever? And it's like, you can have a straight character. No one's fucking stopping
no one's forcing you to.
Like,
Yeah, that's the people they like actively. They're like, yes, I'm going to make Yasuo or Yasuke kiss a man, and then they're like, why is it gay? And I'm like, you said yes. You did the whole romance fucking quest. What's
the meme? Was it CD Projekt Red? It's like you control the buttons that you press. What was? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Something
the meme,
like that. Yeah.
The reply meme. You control the buttons that you press. Someone did something like that, and one of the developers replied and was like, "You control the buttons that you press in this game." Like,
bro,
oh, you man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Veilguard stuff was crazy. I'm a big critic of Veilguard, but it has nothing to do with any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the least of my issues.
About online is nothing to do with what any of the issues I feel like that really messed up that game. It has nothing to do with any of the characters, any of the choices of the characters, all that stuff. People just want to cry and complain about that, whatever. But yeah, Veilguard sucks, man. Because I feel like honestly, you can't even really talk about the game because it's become such like an us versus them type situation that like
it's so polarizing.
Yeah, if you give like a critique of the game, you're automatically lumped in with the jackasses that are complaining about stuff, and it's like I'm not one of them. Like, but you automatically get lumped into that, right? Because you either have to champion it, and it's like you have to defend it, or you have to attack it. You can't like. I hate that. I hate that it's become like that because it's like. I was actually making a video of it, and the video was going to go a lot in depth to like the development cycle and all of the things. I did a ton of research, but then the TikTok ban happened, and the program I used, CapCut, got locked out. And
that's right.
When the ban went away and I loaded it back up, my video was corrupted. So I spent so long on it, and it got corrupted. I was like, you know what? If I made this video, it's just going to be people crying in my comments anyway. So I'm not. There's no point in even making it. Yeah. So, but Jason Schreier's article came out.
I had Julie read that. I sent it to her because I was like, I know you're the one you're the Dragon Quest or the Dragon Age girl.
Does that sword perchance take that
fancy?
It
was a really interesting article to learn all that stuff
about
it.
Is known about.
Yep, and so much of my video was going to go over exactly what Jason did. Now, he gets all the scoops. Like, he has the best Bioware scoops, but he went over all the stuff in it, and I was like, man, that's so much of what I was going to talk about is exactly what he laid out, whatever. And it's crazy. That whole situation. So Bioware might be gone, and it sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah.
The Dragon Quest sword, I think I just got too. Like the one in the cover.
Blade that was broken.
Yeah.
I like the Lord of the Rings throwback here.
Frankie Buns.
Frankie Buns, baby.
I can't remember who was saying this, but I remember reading or listening to an expert or a journalist maybe who's talking about how the internet has, and AI specifically in our Google systems, have now gotten so used and so good at serving us exactly what we want that it has made us all way more polarized. Not just because, you know, we have strong moral feelings or anything like that, but because we feel so vindicated to look at things in a black and white way.
Yeah.
And I was
It's
like, oh, it's happening, it's happening,
Yep.
it's happening.
It reminds me of, it's like tribalism. It's like almost a
us versus them.
reverting. It's like the human experience. We're reverting back to tribalism, essentially, where it's like everybody's us against them, everybody's this, the most polarizing views, and it sucks, and it really sucks, because like there's just like it feels very fractured, right? It's like the human experience feels very divided right now, and it's like
Thinks they're not supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
we're a communal
there's
species.
nuance. I'm sorry, the duality of man and nuance.
Darkest, I did see that, where there was a bunch of stuff about there was a gay storyline in Kingdom Come Deliverance too, and people were like, there wasn't gay people during that time. Like, what? Shut the fuck up.
There was a gay.
I know, dude. Like, like some of the shit people say, I'm like, you're not even trying to like actually make sense or something. You're just hooting and hollering and screaming your head off. Like, tiring. It's so tiring. Well, it's like we were talking about when they port anything or like, you know, move a piece of media to like a different form of media, and people think that it's going to be the exact same. I'm like, you can't just one for one like take a movie or take a book and turn it into a movie, or take a movie and turn it into, and if you think that it's that easy, then like, I'm sorry, like you're stupid. Like you don't understand. You're not punching on the same weight level at that point.
So even something as simple as I'm going to mention it again because I'm like, my brain is completely taken over by it. The Final Fantasy Tactics. My Final Fantasy Tactics. The Evil's Chronicles is actually going to be a completely new script. So it's not the original 97 and it's not the War of Alliance script. Matsuno actually rewrote the original script because he's like, if they voice acted the original script, the original script wasn't written to be spoken. So he's like, I have to rewrite it so that way it's meant to be spoken. And that's the same thing as like, you're not even changing you're not going from book to game or game to or movie to book, or you know what I mean? You're still within the same medium, but all you're doing is you're adding voice acting, and even that you have to change stuff because the presentation wise, it originally wasn't written to be spoken. You know, it was written to be read. As stupid as that sounds, but so like even within the same genre. Yeah, even within the same genre that or the same medium that happens. So yeah, but somehow
I always think of like the Fight Club as the example, reading the book and seeing the movie. The book, fantastic. The movie, fantastic. They do a bunch of different scenes because you just can't realistically do some of those scenes that are written in the book, like the big hand coming out of the sand for the time, right? But the writers and the actors for the Fight Club movie clearly had a great understanding of the book, had an understanding of the satire, and those choices were made consciously to be like, it might not be the exact written word, but this is the truth of the book. This is the truth of those characters. And it translates beautifully. I don't know anyone who has a problem between those two things. And there's more media like that that's out there where they do a really beautiful job of that. But people are looking to be upset in ways that
exactly the same.
It's funny too because I feel like the little bit of nuance to that is like something like the Witcher Netflix series, where I feel like that isn't one for one, right? But I feel like the writers almost kind of like had their ego involved in it maybe a little bit, and basically wanted it to be more of what they wanted it to be, right? And it's some point where it's like you can add, like what you said, the Fight Club situation where like things were added creatively that made sense in the world. And sometimes that can, now I'm not like some person's like, oh, The Witcher's terrible, you can't watch it, blah, 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 blah. I like The Witcher, so I'm going to watch the show about The Witcher. But like I can see where like, and where I've read online from you know, from Henry and what other people, where it seems like some of the writers had their own ego involved, and it's like they wanted to make their spin, but it's like they don't even respect or know the source material that much. So it's almost like they're coming at it from left field, as opposed to, I guarantee the people who made Fight Club were very much, you know, knee deep in the source material and that. So it's interesting how you can have that difference where it's like, yeah, you want to give people creative freedom, right? Like directors who are making something new, you want to give them that creative freedom to put their own stamp on it. But it's also like, you have to play within the world that's given, you know, that kind of thing. You can't go too far out of bounds.
There's also the issue of just publishing and having someone like Netflix producing it, right? They're going to make demands. Like if we think about makeup at Sephora, like we have plethoras of different skin colors, but those companies are only allowed to make 3 different reds if they're at Sephora, and Sephora says, these are the reds that are our best sellers. You need to stay within this gradient parameter, or else we will not carry your product. You know, so Netflix is probably doing the same thing. Hulu's probably doing the same thing. They have the metrics of what does well, and they're always looking for that next one that will fund everything else, right? Because they're taking a risk. So it's the same with record companies too. So they'll put out little indie bands here and there with the idea that we're probably going to lose money on this, but we have Mumford & Sons. Like, they're the big ticket, you know? So
I decided to step
It's like, have you guys read or seen Ready Player One? The movie is drastically different than the book. But I enjoy both of them separately.
Sorry about that.
How dare you?
So
How dare you look at them as 2 separate pieces of media? How dare you?
Not allowed.
I know,
but you could never fit everything that's in that book in a movie. It would be like 10 hours long.
Right.
It would have to be
and miserable. You'd be miserable.
Right. You're here now, and that's what matters. Now, listen to me.
It's interesting to think about cross media.
If you're to stand a chance of
storytelling,
the Lord of the Underworld,
then you'll need help. I think probably the most recent, fresh example of that, which
currently
seems to be there's a lot of question marks around. I'm not going to comment on it because I haven't seen it yet. Was the newest season of The Last of Us? I haven't watched it yet, so I can't sit there and put my stamp on it. But it seems like there's just differences that people are
very mad about. And then of course just the content of it's Last of Us 2, so we're going through all of that again, just like we did when that game initially came out, and then when it got remastered again. So
so that's
I like them separately and I like them together as well. I think the only critique that I have is that I'm really liking the pacing of this season better than the last season. Because I think I'm getting more of that emotional investment I had while playing the games. But Darkest also said the difference between adaptation and appropriation. And I think that's also very true, because when we think about appropriation, that's taking something, right, without recognizing its past, its history, why it is built or done the way it is. And The Witcher is a great, it's a great maybe example of that, right? Where you're having like, okay, yeah, so that's what he is. That's what he is as a character. It's like, no, we really have to pull these things out. There's this big context. Nothing exists in a vacuum. So I think Darkest, you're totally right about that. Absolutely. Go off.
Agreed.
Yeah, now that the season's done, I think I'm going to watch it. I wanted to wait for it to be done so I could finish it. But the biggest complaint that I think I heard was basically that like the Ellie that's in this season is very different from the Ellie that was in the game. Basically, that the Ellie in season 1 was like the Ellie in the first game, but this Ellie in season 2 seems a lot different than the Ellie that was in part 2. But again, I also think that she probably gets a lot of unfair criticism just because people are
the discourse
super
of
harsh
Bella
to her.
Ramsey.
People are super harsh to her
I mean, they're going after all of the non-men actors a lot, so at that point it's just like, whatever.
Right.
The thing I will say is that with The Last of Us, once again, about serving the story, the Ellie that Bella Ramsey is playing, this makes sense in the development. Same with having that chemistry with Pedro Pascal as Joel. For both of these actors, it feels perfectly natural, and it still is another truth to this story.
And
that's the beautiful thing. Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about having, the writers of the game and game creators involved in it too, where they're like, why would we make the exact same thing? That does not make sense. Why don't we create something that is still true to what we're trying to say, but also we have all these new things. We have these new actors that we get to use, these beautiful sets. Why aren't we using them to the best of our abilities?
Makes sense. And also, like you mentioned about Netflix, you've got HBO involved too. So that could also be like what you were describing about with Netflix, where you've got that. So.
And HBO's coming on the upswing again. We're having like the new golden year of HBO that we have when like The Sopranos was coming out, and they had all these great shows, and now we're finally hitting that golden era again. And HBO does not want to lose that. They have waited so long to have that again.
I think I saw something crazy that like Netflix, more people watch Netflix in one day than the entirety of a month for Apple. What is it, Apple Plus or Apple show? What is Apple's
Apple Plus
TV.
or whatever?
Apple TV. More people watch Netflix in one day than the entire month of Apple TV, and it sucks because Apple TV has put out some good stuff, but like
Severance is
they're like,
so good.
Oh yeah, Severance. They basically, that's like their last ditch. From what I read, is they're like, okay, we're gonna put all of our money, like I think what Netflix did for a little bit with Stranger Things. We're gonna put all of our money into the Severance, and we're gonna kind of release stuff here and there, because I think they were spending lots of money on a lot of the shows that unfortunately weren't getting a lot of viewership, but critically were being reviewed really well.
Yeah.
And you can only do that for so long because you're just bleeding money at that point. And Severance becomes this cash cow where it's like, okay, well that'll make us all of our money back. But they're like
really
stopping spending by a lot.
Which one, John?
Shrinking.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to look up.
It's on Apple TV. It was solid.
I love.
It's a comedy.
I love that we've come all the way back around with Cody Egmoberg, whereas before he was the dictator that everyone hated. We came back, it's built up more, and they're like, oh, our beloved founder, Cody Egmo. Thank God for Cody Egmo. And I'm like, didn't you guys have him in a prison last time we were here? Like, I'm so happy that it turns out Cody wasn't a villain all along. Thank God.
He has his redemption story.
Thank God for Pretty Cody and Cody Egmoberg. The most beautiful place anyone could ever want to live.
Was Cody like on the first episode of?
You know, he played the long game. Actually, when he was on, he picked merchant, and he's the only person who's picked merchant. And there's a quest in this game where you have to put a merchant like in this town to help build it up and serve as its mayor. And so you watch the town like progress. And then, like, there's, like, civil unrest that happens, and then, like, then Cody Egmo gets thrown into jail, but he actually did all this because he was trying to get the last thing we needed for our quest, and he hid it somewhere, and now things have come all the way back around where apparently Cody is not in jail anymore and is now a celebrated leader like we all knew he should have been. But yeah,
that's the problem with being a merchant. You're a traitor to your people.
Anybody pick up a Switch too?
I did. It's still in the box.
Just gazing upon it lovingly.
I haven't wanted to set up it, so I had to move all my save files and everything yet.
I've got box syndrome too. There's a bunch of boxes there. I just don't feel like opening. But yeah, what are you gonna play in it first? Mario Kart?
I didn't actually get any Switch 2 games for it yet.
Okay. It's funny, a lot of my friends are playing older games on it. Like the 60 frames.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit better performance for some things.
I wonder if this runs any better.
Switch Pro. Talking about the Switch Pro is going to come out. It's like it did. It's this the Switch 2. We're playing games from 2015 on it.
And then we'll get the OLED Switch 2 here in like a couple of years.
Probably.
I gotta say, with the Steam Deck now, you will rip that thing for my cold dead. I love her.
That's great. I don't have one just because the way that I play my computer is at the desk, or I have a Samsung Tab like 9 or whatever. It's like a 12.5-inch OLED screen. And I have these like arms that are like that I hook the tablet into, and I just and I just
gamer talking about his arms again.
The beach is that way.
Yeah, you're like right over here.
The you brought up my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I use Moonlight and Sunshine, and I just stream the PC directly to the tablet. And I just, whenever I boot it up, it automatically boots Steam in big picture mode. So it's like it turns my tablet into like a little Steam Deck kind of. And I just have my DualSense. And the reason I use the DualSense is because it has the touchpad, which acts as a mouse. So I can use it. I can use it as like for my PC if I wanted to. If I wanted to get out of big picture mode and actually like, if I need to change something in my PC, like, oh my, I forgot to turn my sound down in my computer room. I can hear it down there in the living room. I can just double click on the mouse, go down to my volume on my computer, turn the volume down, and go back into the game. So if I didn't do that, I would absolutely own a Steam Deck. But it's like I pretty much do that.
Kind of redundant for what the setup you already have.
Colorware controller that they sent me.
Oh,
it's the first free thing I ever got from a brand.
Oh yeah.
Was I posted a mock-up of a PS1 themed DualSense way before they had the 30th anniversary, and Colorware replied to it and was like, "Hey, we have one. Check it out." And then they posted a picture of it, and shoot. So I DM'd them and I said, "Yo, let me show this off for you, right? Like you're gonna post it under you're gonna use my tweet to get some attention by posting it. Let me show it off for you." So then they reply back like, "Sure, send me your address." And they sent me the PS5 retro plates, and then they sent me this controller, and then I bought a little Flaming Ghosts color sticker and just put the color sticker on there.
Nice, hell
yeah. I use this for whenever I'm emulating on my tablet. I just because it's got like a nice PS1 feel to it.
No,
yeah, Colorware does a lot of
it. Shoot your shot.
Colorware does a lot of the contest consoles I've got.
Oh, really?
Which consoles?
Yeah, so, I've got a Kingdom Hearts 3 Xbox console that was made for a contest giveaway. Colorware did the skinning on those. Or like
really?
I've got an Xbox that's Pac-Man for the anniversary, but they were supposed to give them away during COVID, and the event where they were supposed to give them away got canceled. So they ended up with a marketing guy who I knew, and he had extras that they just let him have.
That's awesome.
Like, what are we going to do now?
That's awesome. Do you have it like sealed, or is it like do you have it out on display?
I've got it out on display. Colorware breaks the seal when they get it.
That makes sense. Because they have to take everything off and then wrap it or
yep.
Right, yeah.
Get all the stuff on it.
How many of those are there?
Of the Pac-Man one, there's 5.
Wow. 1 of 5.
3 of them were given to Namco, and then 2 of them were left with the Xbox marketing team.
One's with John.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Well, 2 are with me.
A 2? John killed the guy.
We'd love to hear it.
Once again, within the lore.
That's really cool, man. You got something like super limited. That's awesome. I don't have anything like that.
Yeah, the Kingdom Hearts one is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys see the PS3 that I got?
No. Oh, the backwards compatible one that you got that killer.
Yeah, but did you see this the goddamn the fucking nuke case that it came in?
Oh my god!
The nuclear case.
The nuclear codes are in there.
I feel like I should have like this handcuffed to me.
Right?
In the Quentin Tarantino looking ass.
Yes, like it's got the system. It's got a cooling box. This box is customly cut to fit these parts.
That's
and then in here are all the wires and stuff. It's crazy, right? Like my neighbor, who I've lived here for 5 years, and I've passed him walking my dog. Like he lives like 5 houses down from me. He was having a yard sale, and I've been cordial with the guy, and I never like had a conversation with him, but there was like 2 times where I specifically talked to him where there was like a snake. I was a rat snake down the road, and he has young children that play out in the grass. So I was like, hey, there's a really big rat snake just like down there. So like, you know, if your kids are out playing in the yard or something like that, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I walked up because I was walking the dog and the baby in a stroller, and I saw he had like a handful of gaming stuff. And I was like, oh man, maybe I'll get lucky because this guy really, from what I know, he doesn't seem like a gamer. Sometimes you get lucky and it's like they have stuff that they don't know that they have. You know what I mean? Like they're selling Xenogears or something for like $5, you know, something like that. And he had several stuff, and there was this like really sweet like old man that was there. That was like maybe almost 80 years old. He was like really old, and he was like buying gaming stuff. And he's like, I really want a PS2. You don't have a PS2? And he was like, what kind of PS2 do you want? And I was like, I'll take any PS2, because he had the slim PS3, and he had like a Switch and an Xbox Series or Xbox One, and he's like, well, hold on one second. And he goes inside and he comes back out, and he's got like 3 PS2s. He's got like the slim, the silver slim, the original fat model, and other stuff. And the old man's like, oh yeah, I want this one. I was like, damn, this guy just came out of his house with a bunch of PS2s. So right. And I was like, hey man, you got this PS3 Slim here. By any chance, do you have like a backwards compatible PS3? And he's like, I've got 4 of them. And I was like, what? Damn. He's like, yeah, I've got 4 of them. And he's like, I've got a really nice one in this case that I bought at no, what's it called? Where like people have the storage units that like the liquidated.
Oh yeah.
The auction.
And he's like, I got it from that. And he's like, you know, you've always been a nice neighbor, and you warned me that one time about this snake, and I thought that was really nice of you. He's like, so you know, I paid $150 for this, so I'll sell it to you for $150. And I was like, $150? That's it? So he was like, yeah, man. He's like, you can have. He's like, I've got 4 more of them. And I was like, dude, like, are you like hardcore gamer? He's like, I'm a big gamer, but he's like, I'm more of a tech guy and a collector. He like builds PCs, like really like weird PCs. Like he likes taking like, he tries to build them like as small as possible, but like as powerful as possible. Or he takes like really weird cases and puts like, you know, 5090s in them and stuff like that, whatever, and then sells them. And I had no idea this guy was like this. And so he comes out with this case, and I'm like, holy shit, man. And he's like, yeah, you can. He's like, you want a 6 axis with it too? And I was like, sure. He's like, let me go get you a fresh one. And like he comes out and it's like sparkling new. I'm like, hell yeah. Okay, man. He's like, if you bought one other stuff, let me know. And I was like, I'm afraid to see what else you have. I might give you all my money.
Pull out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, what are the chances, right? So I've got a neighbor up the street who's like hardcore collector of like, he like collects limited edition consoles and stuff, but he says those ones he usually keeps, but like other consoles he buys them. And I asked him, I was like, was this like a yellow light of death that you fixed or something? And he was like, no, he's like, I've tested it, it works perfect. He told me to jailbreak it. He was like, if you jailbreak it, you can use the fans in it at higher capacity. And then, yeah, he's like, and then also it's got the cooling system that comes with it. He's like, so it should keep it alive longer. But yeah, I was like shocked. I was like, wow, the whole time
Killer find.
got this person up the street that I had no idea was like this.
I'll be
Do
right
an
back.
MTV Cribs of his house.
Right? Like I wanted to ask him, and it's really funny. So he was telling me like he has like a man cave, right? Like I forgot what my whatever area, and my wife is with me, and she's like, oh yeah, he has like his whole office is like this whole area of collectibles and all this stuff too, blah blah blah. And we're like chatting, and I'm like, all right, man, next time we'll definitely chat more, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm gonna get to walk in with the dog and the baby and all this stuff, and so we get to walk in, and she's like, why didn't you ask for his phone number? You could have made a friend. She's like, when we come back around the way back, if he's still outside, you have to go over there and ask for his phone number. I was like,
she was waiting for friendship.
It's important.
She's like, go over there and get his phone number so you can be friends. It's like, so like when I came back, he wasn't out there. And the next time I went out there, I was walking the dog and it was raining. And she was like, did you get the neighbor's phone number? And I was like, no. She's like, you guys need to see each other's game rooms and all this stuff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So like, eventually I will see this guy's place, I think. But it's so funny how she's like pressuring me. I was like, next time like a girl compliments you on like your nails or something, I'm going to pressure you to get her phone number so y'all can be besties. Like,
John, what do you got?
All right, Gordon. You like cases, right, Gordon?
Oh, that's what they call the UAV on Call of Duty. Pop that thing open.
So this is a Xbox for the Devil May Cry release.
Oh,
this one.
Dude, I love the padding inside of it too.
I'm very jealous of. Look at that.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
These are the ones that like I see online where like they do giveaways on their social media and they're like,
yeah,
John's got him. That's why we call him John got him.
This was a
so
one
you
of
get,
five.
You get them from your hookup from your friend at the marketing
department. Yeah,
that's
he
awesome,
seems to
man.
get so they always order an extra one whenever they order them for the contest or whatever. So if they're giving away 5 of them, they'll get an extra one, so they'll have 6. Because if something happens in shipping or whatever else, they want to have a spare just in case. So when they're done, he gets the spares.
That's awesome. And then he doesn't care about them.
Yeah, this one apparently they made in France, and it cost $5,000 a piece to have them made.
Wow.
Holy
shit. What?
Wow.
May we?
Wow.
That's crazy.
What material is that? Like on the top?
I don't
like
know. It's just like it feels like a printed plastic, but it's kind of gritty.
Huh.
Okay.
So it's not really smooth at all. It feels like lava rock almost.
Is it hollow or is it solid?
No, it's solid.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Those are like literally pieces of art. Like they're actual art. Like they're not just consoles. Those are actual art. That's so cool, John. That case is badass. Is that the case that he gave it to you in, or did you put it in that?
Yeah, that's the case it came in.
That's so cool.
Had boobs.
That's amazing.
Oh, I can see how that looks like.
I wonder if this guy's got some of those crazy consoles. Maybe he does. As he told me, that's what he collects for special edition. Maybe by next time I'm on the show, I'll have exchange numbers with
stream from his room.
Right.
Be able to give us the deeper lore. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I go in there and he's got something crazy. He's got the PS1 Nintendo console.
Right? Yeah. It's just chilling there, like relaxed.
Something like that.
You're like, wait a second.
Oh, this old thing.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Oh, no biggie. What do you mean?
Because I was like, dude, I've actually never jailbroken a console. I did my Vita once, and like I didn't do it successfully, but like I'm much more technically apt since that time. So I'm pretty confident I could jailbreak the PS3. And he was like, oh yeah, man. He's like, you can do it. He's like, I jailbroke mine in like 2008. All this stuff, whatever, blah blah blah. He's like, I did it using an iPhone. He's like, I turned my iPhone into a computer, and I hooked the iPhone up to the PS3 and whatever, all this stuff. So he's like a really big tech guy. I think he's like military too, so I think he did like a bunch of like mechanical, like, or electrical engineering stuff, and like in the military. So I think that's where like he's got a lot of the aptitude for this stuff. But yeah,
his brain must just be wired for it.
Yeah, and what's cool too is like the next time I want to build a PC, I've actually got someone like within walking distance. I'm like, dude, can you help me with
that?
Yeah, like before I would have
to as well.
Yeah, like I would have to like go all the way to like my brother's friend in Richmond that like would help me with like my PC stuff. I'd have to drive like an hour and a half to their house to get help with that. But
electrical engineer is actually my degree.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I ended up in computers, but most of my focus was computer engineering and electrical engineering.
Was there a lot of like crossover?
Surprisingly, yes. When you think about how computers are built, I spent a lot of time actually working for LSI Logic, which is a computer chip manufacturing company. So you end up learning that the circuits that you toy with in electrical engineering are really just largely scaled up versions of what you scale down for being on a chip. So I've actually got a wafer that's got chips on it from the PS2. So it's got the like input-output controller for a PS2 as little die on the wafer that you can actually pluck some of them off. I thought about like making earrings or something out of them for people.
That would be cool.
That's really cool.
Super cool.
That'd be like a really awesome collectible thing to have. That's awesome.
Brooches. I do as like a little pin on the jean jacket. I do too.
Little pin.
My brother or my buddy works for Intel over in like I think Washington or in the Intel plant, and he says like it looks like the Death Star in there. He says like because it's like everything is like massive and there's all these huge machines and everything is like squeaky clean, like everything has to be wearing like the clean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, you have to wear the clean suit, and this is like all you see of your coworkers.
Yep. He says that's what it's like.
Oh, I would like it, so I want to be seen, heard.
Do not wish to be.
It was great for my allergies.
Oh, I bet.
You go in the dungeon.
Never bringing home being sick from that job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Intel's going through some tough times right now, so he's not having the best time at work. So.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not fun.
Screwing up.
Who is having fun right now, though? Really?
That's true. I tell you what is Frankie Beans.
Frankie's
fighting some
enjoying himself as
monsters,
usual.
and he's got the locked in face right now.
I'm just waiting for this to open up just a little bit more, and then we'll really be going somewhere with it.
He's locked.
I hate these directional changes.
Looks like a Pokemon gym.
Well, each time you step on one of these, it turns the control pad a little bit, one way or the other, depending on the direction of the arrows on the floor. So if you press up, it's not up anymore, it's like left, or it's right.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. So it becomes very confusing to try to walk through.
Yeah.
So how'd you just do that?
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Easier to do here, harder to do in some of the later dungeons where you can fall off and have to like go back to the beginning.
That's what'll get me. Yeah. Because this too, I can just cast safe passage and walk around.
Passage and run around. Yep.
I'm getting nightmares of the Tower of Babel and Xenogears having to fall off something and restart it over and over again.
I'm just remembering learning how to read with dyslexia, and I'm like, it's that all over again. I'm back in third grade.
You made this a game mechanic?
Son of a bitch!
My favorite part about getting tested for dyslexia is that afterwards on the drive home, I remember very specifically my mom turning to my dad and she's like, "That's the problem with you." It's like, oh, it's both of us.
Great. That expensive sword I just bought was immediately invalidated. Immediately invalidated by an item I found in the chest. No.
That That used to happen to me a lot in Silver Star Story Complete and Lunar. I feel like every shop, every town that you came across, the immediate dungeon after would have
And everything
the
upgraded. Yeah.
upgrades. Yeah. You just had to survive for like the very beginning of the dungeon, and then you would get everything.
I always like panic purchase in games where I'm just like, huh, I might really need this.
What if?
I won't, but
I'll tell you what
What
games
if?
screwed me up. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying, what if I need it? What if?
Yeah, exactly. What game screwed me up was Final Fantasy IV, where what is it? Where you can't wear any metal.
Oh yeah, the fucking
yeah.
Dark Elf dungeon.
Dark Elf.
Yes.
Yeah, that place.
God,
Tough.
Yes. Screwed me up. I was like, oh my god, they're really doing this right now? Like, are you serious? It was cool. I mean, thinking back in the moment, I was pissed, right? Because I don't, for a couple of my characters, I didn't have shit for them to wear.
Yeah.
But then thinking about it, I was like, this is actually kind of cool. It sucks, but it is kind of cool at the same time.
I think that's
little
one
bit
of the
of
dungeons
column
that instilled the never sell anything into me.
What'd you say?
I think that's one of those dungeons that instilled that whole never sell anything.
Never sell anything. Yep.
Never.
Yeah,
Might
you're
need
like,
it.
oh, I've got all this old equipment that works. Yay!
Yep.
That would
Keep all this. Never know if like your starting sword is going to end up being the strongest weapon in the game if you find the right material or something like that. Final Fantasy style. I hated the weapon system in Final Fantasy 13. I love the games, but the weapon
system in one's fucking stupid. Like borderline nonsensical.
It's like, how do I know what to keep and what not to keep and which to? It's like, I literally, unless you have a guide, which I mean I did. Unless you had a guide, it's like, how do you know what to do? There's no path, and there's no if I'm playing an RPG, it's all about numbers, and the weapons aren't doing anything for me outside of numbers, right? It's not like there's flare, it's not like there's whatever. Like, you're screwing me over by me not getting the right numbers. So
I know one time I looked at like the way to get people's ultimate weapon, and I was just like, fuck that. Like, I'm not going through all this bullshit.
yes.
Holy talents. Actually, I don't even think I'm supposed to be in this dungeon. I just found a fucking tall building full of monsters and treasure and was like, well, here we go again!
Oh, yeah, this'll... could fall off the edge here.
Uh-oh. So does it, like, rotate at once? Or, like, how does it work?
So if the blue arrow points to the left, I think it rotates it 90 degrees one way. If the yellow arrow points to the left, it rotates it like 90 degrees the other way.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
So you really have to think about which direction you want to press.
Not
There
interested.
wasn't even
in
anything on this side. Motherfucker.
That's great.
You snoop? No,
There's
no,
the
this was nothing.
active
Okay.
satisfaction.
Let's see what happens. What's up here? What are we doing? Hey, yo. Now we're out
And we're
back.
falling off the edge of the building.
Let's get you out to the beginning.
Not sure. I don't think I saw this locked door before.
Right at the back of the building.
Oh, okay. I have a bit here.
What you
yeah.
got?
A big old room. This creature, he's got too many legs for me. I'm not gonna lie. We got these fucking guys shaking their jubblies at me. This guy's got 6 fucking legs. I'm tired of it. What the hell is this goddamn tower? Full of a bunch of fucking degenerates.
Sickening.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, I can't unsee the boob. Unfortunately.
That man, they got jubblies all day. Like, they are
They do. They got some big
jubblies,
ones.
a little whip. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. They're doing their best. I know that.
The reason why they're out though is they're so far set too. Like, there's no bra in the world that is designed for out past the shoulders.
Despicable.
Despicable.
Let's go back to Alahan and we'll save and start doing outro.
All right.
I like looked up and I was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I see. Ba-ba, ba-ba.
Double digits.
Are you bringing up those? Are you still thinking about him? Talking about double digits.
All I think about is boobs. I don't know what to tell you.
On the record saying.
On the record, let everybody write that down.
I'm here to answer the question,
all
and I
I
just got back from a Walmart haul.
Does it suck? Hold on, guys. Don't need to watch
Sorry, that handsome man.
me talking
There's
about
the
food again.
Chip boy. I loved it. It was good, man.
It was good.
Should
Yeah,
do more.
it's been fun exploring a new world and everything, and I'm sure there'd be a bit more of it if I, had played the earlier ones and had more knowledge and me going, I recognize that place. But like, even still, it's been really cool finding a whole new world and just not knowing what I'm doing. Like that whole dungeon I just found. Like holy shit, that thing was actually like kind of huge, and we just kind of came about it.
There's magic in going in cold. Truly,
Mm-hmm.
It's so rare we get to do that
you
now.
do that.
Oh yeah, big time. Abso-fucking-lutely, man.
Like, you didn't talk to the right NPC in this town, so you have no idea where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep, it's immediately all over.
I remember watching my dad play old computer RPGs back in the day, and he would have this thick legal pad on the desk, and he would just be constantly scribbling things down because there was no game facts or anything for him to go
just
to.
Look it up.
Yeah, if you
He's
got
like,
stuck,
I will
you
need
got
to remember
stuck.
this riddle.
Yes, so like he would do that to specifically remember things. Or I remember some of his games actually came with a decoder. It was like it had like numbers in the bottom, and then you would turn it, and then you would turn something else, whatever.
That's
and I
so
remember
cool.
it would actually unlock stuff in the game. It came with it, and he
So
would be
it's
like,
anti-piracy too. It's really
He'd be like,
cool,
"Don't
and it's anti-piracy. Like,
don't play with this. I have to have this. It's really, don't play with this. I can't remember what it was. I don't think it was Stone Keep. Maybe it was like Lands of Lore or something, or I don't know. It was one of those like old CRPG games, but it had like some sort of decoder in it, and that was so cool. You couldn't get away with something like that now because, well, I guess people would just put it on the internet, and then it would live there. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember
Same
old
as the
PC
tangible.
games that would make you check, and they'd say, turn to page 37 in the manual and read type in the fourth character, or fourth word
for the key
in order
code,
to continue. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Make sure you didn't steal the key code
Pirate
from
the
someone or
game.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good way to do it, man. Like, people will figure out ways to get around it in programming, but if you lock it behind something physical, then
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Now
especially
Nintendo
back
just sent
then.
you to jail.
Yeah, now Nintendo sends their cops to your house and kill you.
And break your Switch.
That's what happened to Joey,
Blackout,
actually.
Yeah. We got killed by Nintendo. Sorry.
R.I.P. Pour one out for the homie, folks. I will
We'll
not.
miss you.
I hate him.
Can't happen. Can't happen.
I love that there's lore now of him ducking you.
Right, exactly. It's now, it's like an official canonized event at this point. Like, maybe his greatest op, as the kids say. Is that what the kids say?
Yes, he's terrible.
I mean, I'm scrappy. I'll go for the shins.
Straight gobbo. Straight gobbin.
Great. Goblin mode engaged.
No, I know. It's if Gobbo was in here, he would know. He can goblin too.
Goblins.
Hell yeah.
Goblin ghoul. Goblin ghoul.
Goblin ghoul.
Goblin ghoul. Gabagool.
That's that new Capcom joint, right?
Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
If you take out Joey's shins, he'll have a limp, so he'll be Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. He already is the Hobgoblin.
Oh, that one got Char. I saw that. Yes, yes.
That added years to my life.
What happened? John usually takes years away from Joey's life, but for you, he adds them to your life. So
it's perfect.
I'm siphoning them out of Joey and giving them to you.
Yes,
Charlotte
Thank
only
you
grows
so
stronger.
much.
balance in nature.
A public service.
I can't wait next time Joey's like, yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm gonna be like, it's Charlotte. It's Charlotte.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's feeling better.
It's me and John, actually. I can't do it without
Yeah, that's
him.
true. That's true. It does take John's techno magic. I think he does it with nanobots. I don't know.
I'm the conduit.
Yeah.
You are. I can feel the spark from here.
Oh.
Oh, that was good shit. That was a good episode. We'll go around, get some final thoughts. We give a little, let the people know where we can find you and what you do. Gordon, why don't we start with you? Any wrapping up thoughts, and what are you doing, and where can we find you? I'd love it if you'd link your new video. I'll look it up for you while you talk, actually.
Honestly, I'm really enjoying watching you play this. It's a lot of fun, and just being here on the show and having the sprite, that's like an honor. I just really enjoy being a part of the community. I know I'm not like super active like in the Discord and things like that. It's just hard for me to be active in a bunch of chats. I don't have notifications. Yeah, I don't have notifications on my phone for anything but calls and texts.
Oh, you must live a peaceful life.
My kids are always, the family's always taking up all the brain waves. But yeah, exactly. So I do a little bit of content creation. If you all don't know, if you do, then you've already heard this. But I was in a little bit of a YouTube rut or content creation rut, and I had made some videos about like some tech pieces, like reviewing the DualSense Edge, and also like Parasite Eve. I did like should we do a remaster or should we do a remake, or does it deserve it, and how would it be successful and why type video. And then I got in a rut for a while, but this Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evil East Chronicles announcement has like breathed new life into me creatively.
Yeah.
I'm just super passionate about this game. And what I did is I read every single store listing of the game. I read every single piece from the marketing team and press release. And then I went on all of the Japanese websites. I went through all of the developers' Japanese tweets and replies. And basically I compiled everything into one video that I made. It's like the ultimate breakdown of like what you need to know about the game right now as the announcements come out. So it goes over like, will the War of Alliance stuff be in there? What jobs will be in there? What you can expect. I go over the difference between the enhanced version and the classic version. And then I go over some things that maybe some people are upset about. And then I go over some predictions as well. Video is doing pretty well right now. I think the last I checked, I just uploaded it like 2 days ago, and it's got like about 13,000 views, which is big for me.
Yeah,
I've got like 150.
dude.
Thank you. I've got like 150 subscribers from it too, which is a lot for me. So I'm over the 500 mark now. So really cool. I linked here to
video. It's coming for it.
I'm going to keep posting more tactics. I actually recorded something earlier today, but it's not as in-depth. It's more of the Japanese website has this cool breakdown of all the characters. On socials, they're doing just like a little like 2-sentence and then here's a picture. But on the website, they have this really cool thing that actually breaks them down by faction. And when you scroll over it, it gives a whole thing and it tells you about a nice like paragraph description of them and all this other stuff. So I'm basically just like reading that in broken English because it's translated. And
I saw that they're adding that whole like thing where you can like catch up on the story at large at any time and stuff like that. Like, that's really cool, especially because Tactics does tell a like nationwide story, multiple nations. It's a very large scale story, so that kind of reference material can be super helpful for people. And who knows, there might be new little tidbits hidden in there. That might be something. That might be an idea when it comes out. See if you can compile anything new that we've gotten from that, or anything interesting. That'd be a cool idea.
I'll leave you with a little tidbit about one of my predictions. Is that I think maybe we might see Clive in this new enhanced edition.
That would be badass. I would be down with that.
So it's the exact same dev team. it's there's so much being borrowed between the two games that I feel like if they're going to add with every edition of the game, they've added someone new. So it's got to be.
Tradition.
I'm thinking Clive would be the easiest person to add. But anyways, yeah, go check out the video. I've also posted some other stuff. They in the Japanese version of the website, they have if you went idle on the 97 title screen, it did that nice job introduction video. They actually remade that for the new edition of the game, and for some reason they've only posted it on the Japanese website. So I sourced that and I put that on the YouTube as well. So check out all the stuff, and I'm on socials. I'm on Blue Sky a lot. I'm on Twitter as well. Same thing, Game Dad 7 with the VII. And you may catch me here and there in the Discord for Super RPG Friends as well.
Hell yeah, baby. We love having you. Trust me. It is very happy that you're around here hanging out with us, man. It means a lot.
Happy to be here.
Charlotte, my lovely, you want to tell us a little bit about what you do on the internet and where we can find you if the people want a little more?
If you want more of me, I am a writer and I write D&D encounters, but I write a bunch of other stuff too. You can just visit me at my website, which is charlottegasparerebar.com. I know it's a mouthful, so I'll put it in the chat. If you want to purchase the encounters, you can just search Game Master Worlds in Kickstarter or go to gm-worlds.com. And you can find us there too, or you can join our Discord where I actually write adventures for you to hang out and play with me. Our next one is going to start in July. I'm really excited for that one.
Very
Hell
cool.
yeah. That's awesome. I dropped the site in the chat as well for
Thank
anyone
you.
to check those bad boys out. And thank you for coming on. It was a blast to finally have you on here. It was great that we were able to scare Joie away yet again. Beautiful. We love to see
Finally.
it.
I mean, you know I love being an alpha, so.
It's true. Yeah, straight big dogging Joie to the grave.
Ideally.
There we go. Cool. Hell yeah. Johnny boy, my beloved, anything new on the house front or anything else interesting to report?
No, I'm just actually I'll be doing some hackathons over the next couple of weeks for work. So application building over the course of like 3 days with our customers.
That's
so
really
it's kind of a fun workout to help them learn how to build applications themselves and maybe build something that's actually useful.
Yeah, because you said it's basically them coming to you with like problems and ideas and stuff, and you guys kind of try to program the vision.
Yeah, so they have like a use case or a form or some kind of app that they're trying to build, and we'll help them build it out over the course of 3 days and get them going on it. So hopefully we'll have a POC by the end of those 3 days. So it's pretty cool. Some of the apps that we've built in the past have saved a lot of time and money and been used for things like the White House or the UN. So it's been interesting.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, like I said, when you told me about that, I was like, what a cool fucking idea. I love that. Finally, the idea guy gets some play, right? Now, if only we could get him into the gaming industry. You know, there's lots of good idea guys out there in gaming groups. I don't know if you guys have heard. Anyway, my distaste for the gaming community at large aside, thank you all for coming and hanging out. My name is Frank, aka Woodman FLG. Super RPG Friends is my baby, but it's my weekend now, and there's no more scheduled streams. But there are Twitch drops for Dune right now, so I think I'm gonna probably stream Dune tomorrow for like 2 or 3 hours or something. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do that so my guild can make sure they get everything from the Twitch drops. So you'll probably see me live at some point this weekend, but other than that, next Monday is the finale for my favorite anime of all time on Mecha Monday, motherfucking the greatest himbo adventure of all time, aka Gurren Lagann. Charlotte's a first-time watcher and has been loving Peak. She's been watching the adventure go down and having a great time with it. But
goes out to all the himbos, bimbos, and they thembos.
You know, you gotta believe in the me that believes in you. You know, I mean, it's just the way it is. Kamina, you were a goat. We'll see you guys next week. We'll probably see you a little bit later. Thank you guys all so much. We are going to be a raid on over to the wonderful Wonder Swan, who's playing Lufia 2 at the moment, which we do collectively love. We're a Lufia 2 family around here, even if by the end of it, I was like, I would like to stop fighting battles, but we love that game. Thank you guys all for hanging out. We're going to close this show the way we've been doing it since day one, and that is with an Earthbound reference. 3, 2, 1. Fuzzy Pickles, you guys.
Fuzzy
See you
Pickles.
next time. Thank you all so much.